Hi everyone, this is David and welcome to week 3. I'm going to make this short video covering the basic assignments for week 3. Take a look, take a listen, and let me know if you have any questions. As you see, we are here at Module 3. And let's take a look at our learning outcomes. You're going to design an evaluation plan for an instructional product. This is tech speak for in this week you're going to write your evaluation, your instructional evaluation plan, your IE plan. And we'll define that in just a moment. This week we want to distinguish between formative and summative evaluation. Formative evaluation is done while you're in the process of teaching, while your students are in the process of learning. So any evaluation that you give will supposedly further their understanding, further their advancement. As opposed to a summative evaluation, that's when everything's done and basically it means you give a grade or some kind of final evaluation. And of course this week you're going to identify and to apply some instruments for evaluation, here being called usability evaluation. So let's take a look first at our readings. You have a very important reading, and that is with Kirkpatrick's 4 levels of evaluation. Now, I don't want you to worry about all 4 levels of evaluation. In this class, we're going to be concerned only with the bottom 2 levels, reactions and learning. Those are the 2 levels that you will be designing evaluation instruments for. Again, reactions and learning. You will get to transfer and results in your next course. In this course, it's only the bottom 2 levels. So read about those, understand those, and be able to apply those. So that's the deal on Kirkpatrick, and there are some additional, let me pull this up. There are some additional resources here that you can read more about the differences between formative and summative evaluations. You might want to especially bookmark some of these resources so that you can use them or refer to them as references in the essay that you'll be writing this week on instructional evaluation. So take note of those resources. Those are your readings. Let's get into your discussion for the week. The discussion for the week is very simple, and that is you are going to post your instructional evaluation, your IE plan here. Excuse me. There are 3 of you in the class, so after you post your IE plan, you're going to review the plans of the other 2 classmates. So everyone needs to have their work in by this Thursday or Friday so that we have the weekend, you have the weekend to do your reactions and your evaluation of those plans. If you need some extra time, let me know, and I will hold off doing grading on Monday until everybody gets everything in. So please let me know if you need any time past Sunday, and if so, I will hold off grading until you get those in. So that's your discussion board, which must mean that at some point in this class you're going to be writing an IE plan. And indeed, that's exactly what we're writing here. So as you can see, you are writing your instructional evaluation plan. Let me increase the size of this. You're writing your instructional evaluation plan. After studying the template and student models provided, you're going to create your instructional evaluation plan for your project, the one that you've identified and that you've been working on during the first 2 weeks of this course. This plan should include all of these elements here, and we're going to talk more about these elements in just a moment. We're actually going to go through them in a sample, and they are an introduction, your instructional goals, a list of your evaluators, and then a presentation, a list of the evaluations that you'll be conducting. You don't provide the evaluations at this point. You simply describe the ones you're going to use and how they are going to help you in your instructional evaluation. Then there are two other items here on study limits. In other words, time, place, manner, and cost. You want to address those. I think your instructional evaluation will be taking place during the next 4-week course. So whatever instructional evaluations you're going to conduct, be sure that you are working within the confines of the next 4 weeks of the course. You do not, I repeat, you do not actually conduct your IE plans during this course. During this course, you only identify which IE instruments you're going to use and make sure that you have attained those and understand how they work. It is in the next capstone course that you then actually use those instructional evaluation tools to carry out an instructional evaluation, often called a heuristic evaluation. And of course, you'll, as always, will identify your references. And in your appendices, please find at least 3 instructional evaluation instruments that you're thinking about using. Remember, this is not a final contract. At this point, you're simply making the best guesses that you can make about which ones will be of most value to you. That may indeed change as you get further into your topic, and especially in the next course when you actually begin thinking about how to conduct those instructional evaluations with your identified target users. So we can read about the purpose here. The purpose of the IE plan is to solicit formative feedback before it goes live. So this is definitely during the development phase of your project. This is formative evaluation, not summative evaluation. Your role is to gather as much good detail, good reaction, good data as you can about your course, and then use that data to further refine, develop, revise your actual course. Oh, it says it here. These evaluations will be used only during the design and implementation phases. They're not final evaluations at all. Excuse me. Now you get to choose your own group of evaluators here. It's recommended that you have a mixed group, and those can be some mixture of teachers, administrators, SMEs, subject matter experts, and your own students, even family or friends. Why such a wide mix of input? Because you want to cover all your bases. Because you want to get the widest possible look at how your instructional evaluations affect real people. After you get that feedback, then your goal is to troubleshoot your site technically by confirming the validity of its content and determine its educational benefit before it goes live. So all of this is input to help you further develop your project, your web-based course. Here are some models. Of course, there's a template here for you to follow. Let's call that up. Here is the template. Pretty easy to follow. Feel free to use exactly these headings: introduction, instructional goal, the list of your evaluators, then the evaluations themselves. You want to have a pretest, and this is what you give to your target users, your evaluators, before they ever see the site to find out what they know. And then a post-test after they have done the course to find out how much they've learned. And then a reaction instrument. This is often called the SMILES instrument. Here you want to, a reaction instrument is whether they like, dislike the course, what they liked, what they didn't like. The smiles, or frowns, as the case may be. Here's what you're asking your SMEs to do. If you don't have your site up, at least they can walk through it on a paper format, and that's something you've already turned in whenever you have plotted out your course. That's its paper prototype. Then you want your SMEs to conduct a heuristic review where they evaluate the content and how well that content allows them or allows you or the site to achieve its instructional goals. And then you want to have an exit questionnaire for them. So be sure to have at least those instruments ready to go. So that is your instructional evaluation. Let's see what else we got for you here. We have a whole host of model IE plans. You'll see that there are some differences, but mostly there are a lot of similarities. Here's Julie Hatch. It has the usual APA title page. Then in the body, you begin with an introduction. In this introduction, you want to demonstrate that you know what an instructional evaluation is, what is the purpose of an instructional evaluation, and what is the importance of instructional evaluation. That's what you're demonstrating in that introduction. You can divide it into more than one paragraph if you wish. This is also the place in the introduction where you will be referring to sources. Then you state your instructional goal. Please state it as you've been taught to state it. Upon satisfactory completion of blah blah, users will be able to book. And then you have the 3 goals, each of which begins with an active verb. Name a fraction, use their understanding, determine fractional equivalence, solve a variety. So make sure that your instructional goals are phrased in that active verb format. And then simply provide a list. Now keep in mind that this is not a final list. This is your preliminary list. This is your dream team. You may or may not be able to get all of these people to help you. But at least you're beginning with this preliminary list to help you start collecting people who will help you. As you see, we have subject matter experts. We have teachers and developmental curriculum designers, assistant principal, teacher, and here we have a student. 2 students, actually. 2 students. And college students, and then we have 6 elementary students. So as you can see, Julie is going to get a wide range of feedback on her site using these instructional evaluation instruments. The same instruments are going to be filled out by the SMEs, the teachers, the administrators, the college students, and the elementary students. Here in the next portion, you want to describe your evaluations that cover only, remember, only level 1 and level 2 of Kirkpatrick's hierarchy. Only level 1 and level 2. The reaction and the analysis, or the learning. This chart kind of brings that whole discussion together. The stage, who is going to be using it, the Kirkpatrick level being assessed, and then the actual evaluation instruments that are being planned on use. You plan on using. Study limitations. And then come the evaluation instruments. Where can you get these? You can get these from the examples that I have provided. You may have to retype some of them. Some of them you can simply copy and paste. You can also get them from the Piskurich book. There is actually an entire chapter of evaluation instruments that you can get. That Piskurich book is one of the required texts in your courses in this program. So as you can see, Julie had a variety of evaluation instruments. As you can tell, she copied and pasted some of them. They don't all look the same, and that's fine. You're going to print them out anyhow for your individual evaluators. In copying and pasting, or copying an image and pasting that image into a Word document, that's perfectly fine, because they're all going to be printed out And these are the actual documents, once you print them out, that your evaluators are going to actually write on. Another instructional evaluation. Remember, you had to have pre-test, post-test, and the smiley test. Okay, so that's Julie. Let's see who else we have up here. This Katie Kears actually works at National University, and she was designing a course for National University students. Empowering balance. She's teaching students how to manage their time. But I want you to see the similarities. The introduction, in which you discuss the role, what instructional evaluation is and what role it plays in course design. The instructional goals of your course. The evaluators. And then the instruments. First, you discuss those instruments. After you've discussed them, you provide your study limitations or constraints. By the way, you should have no financial burdens for this study. And then come the appendices, the pre- and post-test instruments. And the reaction survey. So she had, 3 appendices and then the references. So you can go through all of these examples. They all are fulfilling the same assignment requirements. Here's Rosemarie. Introduction, instructional goals, evaluators, then the evaluations that she's going to use. Discussing them, presenting them, the constraints, references, and then appendices. Appendices go after your references, by the way. I know the other student had her appendices before the references. Technically, appendices go after the references. And again, you're welcome to use any of these that you see here. Copy and paste them. Take images of them. Some you won't be able to use because they're specific to the content she was teaching. So that's why I gave you a real wide selection here, so that you could have, have access to as many of these instructional evaluation plans in their instruments as possible. Here's Veronica. Her introduction, her instructional goal, evaluators, the evaluations, study limitations, and then the instruments in her appendices. Again, appendices should come after the references. Okay, well that is pretty much it. You can go through the rest of those and you'll find other helpful examples of basically the same thing. That's about it. I went ahead and recorded this lecture, but because no one had shown up to the chat by the time it was supposed to have started, which is fine. I don't mind making these videos. I'm saying the same thing, but I'm just recording it, so it'll be a video. But I will go ahead and post this on YouTube, send everyone the link, and get started on this Module 3, your instructional evaluation. The grades for your Module 2 are already up. Everyone did great. I'm very, very happy with all the work that you're doing. You're right on schedule. You got it right on the nose. For those of you who turned everything in, you look excellent. So no worries there. You're progressing through the course quite nicely, and I think we're going to be getting a really great outcome. Okay, I will talk to everybody later. Please let me know if you have any questions.